Left last month in Florida.
It's a great day for baseball.
It is time for the Nationals and the Marlins, and Steven Strasburg, of course, on the mound. Now, a few moments ago, Andre Dawson, the Montreal Expos Hall of Famer, very emotional on the field as the Nats honored him. They also honored Gary Carter, both of them going into the new Nationals Ring of Honor. Bob Carpenter, Rob Dibble, welcome to the ballpark and welcome back to Steven Strasburg's career. It's been on a 2-week hiatus. Rob, great to see him back on the mound to start fulfilling that allotment of those innings we keep hearing about.
Well, yeah, I mean, he can get up to 150, 160 innings, but there's no pressing need for him to get to that limit. It would be nice. So he shut down for about 3 starts, threw on the side, threw a couple of simulated games, but the bottom line is he was healthy enough to make that start 16 days ago. But they shut him down, give him a little bit more time off, get his feet back underneath him, and now come back out and face the Florida Marlins tonight.
And the Marlins, of course, have battled quite a bit with the Nats in recent years. And this year, 5-4 Marlins. But here's Strasburg and the innings we talked about, Rob. San Diego State, Arizona Fall League last year, and, of course, the Nationals organization this year.
Yeah, and remember, between August and September, he really wasn't throwing a whole lot. And it was after September, he went down to Instructional League, got ready, threw in the Arizona Fall League, hurt his knee. So the bottom line is he's ready to go. We're ready to watch him. It'll be a fun night.
And, of course, the Nats are glad to be back home where they are a different ball club, whether they're playing the Fish from Florida or anybody else. Now, the Marlins are 25-26 on the road. The Nats at home are 29-23. And here's a number for you that's interesting. Florida's dominated the series over the years, but since last year's All-Star break, the Nats lead 10-8 over the Fish. By AT&T, rethink possible, and by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. The Navy Yard Metro Station, very busy on evenings when Steven Strasburg is the starting pitcher. Marlins and the Nats, first game of a 3-game series, first game of a 6-game homestand. Strasburg and his teammates taking the field as we speak. Good to be back home after a 3-4 road trip to Arizona and Los Angeles. Nationals meeting members of a local ball club on their way out. stationed at every base. And it's time to get down to business now. The Marlins are 254, 11th in the league, 9th in runs, and tied with the Nationals for 8th in home runs. Dan Uggla has hit more homers since the All-Star break than anybody and has 25 of them, 4th in the league. He's also in the top 4 in runs scored in the NL. You might notice Logan Morrison. We'll tell you more about him. He's a rookie that came up through their organization. And here's Steven Strasburg making his 10th start for the Nats tonight. Impressive numbers with the 3.2 ERA, the .216 opponent's batting average.
PNC Bank scouting report. The keys to Steven's success and him achieving success tonight will be command of his secondary pitches. He'll have a live arm. He'll be overthrowing a lot of his breaking stuff. Efficiency equals more innings. The less pitches he throws early in the game, the deeper he'll go. And just be yourself. Go out and have fun. You missed 3 starts. No big deal. Happens to a lot of people. Don't stress about it.
And after a little game of catch in Phoenix last week, there was the simulated game on Thursday. Live hitters, live pitching. And, of course, Robbie came through that okay, and that set the stage for a bullpen Saturday in L.A.
Well, and it was just getting himself geared back up. You know, even if he had come off the disabled list or was hurt, which he was not, he'd have to go through all of this stuff. So it was just getting him back, acclimated to the mound, and go out and pitch in the big leagues.
Nationals defensively, pretty much the everyday outfield is Willingham, Bernardina, and Morse right now. Ian Desmond up the middle with Adam Kennedy. Zimmerman done at the corners, and after a day off Sunday, and then a welcome day off for everybody yesterday, after a 3 a.m. arrival in our nation's capital, Pudge Rodriguez behind the plate. Visit train.com to find a dealer. It's hard to stop a train. We're going to throw first pitch. 96 degrees, partly cloudy, hazy in the district. We've heard reports of weather as hot as 98 today, and the heat index, of course, in triple digits. 22-year veteran, the crew chief, Jerry Lane, has the plate. Alan Porter, rookie umpire. 21-year veteran, Mike Winters. 12-year veteran, Hunter Wentelstedt on the bases. Andre Dawson's going to tell us to play ball. When the Hawk says play ball, you get out there and play ball.
Shortstop, number 2.
And the new Ring of Honor, very nice. The Expos have not been forgotten. Right above the PNC Diamond Club, and there's the Hawk, who will join us later this evening, and so will Gary Carter. We're looking forward to those visits. Hanley Ramirez has been back in the leadoff spot now for the last couple of weeks. Chris Coughlin, of course, last year's Rookie of the Year, injured. And so Ramirez back in his customary leadoff spot, but they expect him to return to the number 3 hole in the lineup when Coughlin comes back. Strasburg's first pitch a little bit outside, and we're underway at 7:08 Eastern.
And Bob, for our viewers that are just watching this for the first time or watching Steven Strasburg for the first time, he's got a fastball, upper 90s, changeup, 90, and a curveball in 75.
Sounded like a broken bat. Pudge Rodriguez is there. That's a big power hitter getting sawed off. Let's check in on some early game notes here. Strasburg leading the major leagues from all guys with at least 8 starts. Look at that, 12, almost 12 and a half strikeouts per 9 innings. Dan Uggla, look out when you get 2 strikes on him. Pujols with 13, the only guy who's hit more. And then the Nationals are keeping the ball in the ballpark as a pitching staff. That makes this matchup interesting because the Marlins are one of the best in baseball in that department. More on that later as Strasburg throws a strike to the rookie Logan Morrison. Came up through the organization. Morrison, a 22nd round draft choice back in 05 out of Kansas City, Missouri. Played at the same community college that Albert Pujols did. And he was hitting .307 when they called him up July 27th. Marlins have a new look to their roster. Jorge Cantu is gone. They say this young man could eventually end up at third base. He played there some in college. And the 0-2. That ball sounded like a tip, but it probably hit the ground, giving us that noise on a breaking ball check swing.
From the side, looks like he held up. When you're looking for a 95 to 98 mile an hour fastball, they're going to be doing a lot of that tonight.
And a 1-2 count. Way inside.
That's pitch 99 miles an hour, getting him off the plate. Which before he went on the disabled list was what he was doing more of, because Kansas City had 9 hits, most of them the opposite way.
Not doing much with him on 2 strike counts. That's upstairs. Morrison 11 for 47, his first 11 games as a big leaguer, hitting .234.
One of the things I talked about is him having a live arm, and of all people, this guy could probably throw 102, but he's got to keep it under control on his secondary pitches.
Fans are clapping for a strikeout here. And a pop up back and over the screen. Nice one-handed grab, sir. He's wearing a Strasburg jersey. Why not? Marlins are 9 games back of the Braves. Nationals are 15 out. And there's Edwin Rodriguez. 2020 for them so far after the firing of Freddie Gonzalez. And that's close. Pudge Rodriguez just holding the mitt right there. And Jerry Lane calling it ball 4.
UPS store right here is going to be borderline. Well, it's a little low.
That's that hard sinker. And the hitter will be Gabby Sanchez, who's on a 3-game hitting streak with 6 base hits. The Marlins got put into a bit of a tailspin over the weekend against those Phillies.
See, now that's what we were talking about. He had a stiff shoulder when they DL'd him, but right there, free and easy, just letting it fly, 99 miles an hour.
Sanchez walked in the first inning when they faced each other Friday, July 16th. Later went 0 for 2 against Strasburg. Nationals won that game 4-0, beating Ricky Nolasco, the only game they won of that all shutout 3-game series. How about this guy? Out of the University of Miami, hitting .294 overall. He's been their best clutch hitter, too. .340 with runners in scoring position. Strasburg takes a little bit off and misses inside.
Well, and the changeup, his curveball is a little hard. It was 81 miles an hour, but here's the delivery. Nice, free and easy, 4-seam fastball right around 100. That's a pretty good pitch right there. Well, this is actually his changeup. If you were talking about a differential from the fastball, his real circle change is 90 miles an hour. So that one was right around 80.
2 balls, 1 strike. Runner at first, walked with 1 out. That's Logan Morrison. Gabby Sanchez fights off another. I think, if I remember correctly, that at bat that Gabby Sanchez had in the first inning against Strasburg, remember all the balls he fouled off? That at bat went 12 pitches. Strasburg later in the inning walked Dan Uggla, and he threw 35 pitches in that first inning. 50 in the first 2. Then he got through the next 4 innings on only 49 pitches. That front door breaking ball misses inside again. 3-2.
Well, he's not getting that call, but that's still a very nice pitch. and it's got great late break to it. It's pulling it down hard. It's about 80 miles an hour.
Yeah, backed up a little bit.
Backed up a little bit, but it's still very hard for Gabby Sanchez to go from 97 to pulling the trigger, swinging at that.
So another long AB here for Gabby Sanchez. Runner going, and a fly ball to right. It'll back up Michael Morris short of the track. 2 outs. Quite a battle that was, and this time Strasburg won it. He'll face Dan Ugla now with 2 outs.
Well, and hopefully he can be economical here. He's already at 15 pitches, and this is what we're talking about. Go about 12, 15 per inning. Try to get a few more ground balls tonight. Don't have to go for all these strikeouts, and hopefully get you 6 or 7 innings.
Well, you remember a home run hit by the Giants in the first inning?
Oh, yeah, Torres lead off the game. And then I think they had 2 or 3 base runners the rest of the way.
Well, as you would say, after that they got nothing and liked it. There's a breaking ball outside to Dan Ugla. Ugla having a good year. 280. Short of 70 RBIs, but he's hit 25 home runs. And he's been the premier home run hitting second baseman in baseball now for the last 3 years. Likes it on the road. 302 away from home, which is surprising. And there's an inside call for a strike on a fastball, because their ballpark in Florida is so friendly for right-handed batters who can get around on the ball. He's hit 31, 32, and 31 home runs the last 3 years. And 27 the year before that.
Wow, that's just some serious jammage. 99, 97, right in on their hands. Definitely has good command of the fastball tonight. Move that breaking ball over about 2 inches. It'll be a good night for Steven.
In fact, when he hit those 27 home runs back in 06 and was 3rd in the Rookie of the Year voting, that was a major league record for a rookie second baseman. Strasburg has him 1-2 here in the top of the first. A low throw. Adam Dunn had to go backhand.
Like he had Logan Morrison leading a little bit. It's nice to keep him honest every now and then. We talked about this with Craig Stammen. You know, just when a guy's maybe stepping off the bag, checking out his third base coach, just toss one over there.
Ugla swing, and he just got a piece of it on a high fastball.
No, that was triple digits, 101 miles an hour, and then a little tippage, so it's hard to hold on, but I guess that tight shoulder is fine.
Well, if you can't get loose when it's 96 degrees. Ugla gets a good piece of that one. Left field. Did he get enough? It's just into the flower bed, and the Marlins have 2 runs on the board. Dan Ugla, another home run with 2 strikes. His 26th of the year. And now the 1-out walk is what really hurts. That's as close as you can get one to scraping the wall down the left field line.
But it just shows you have to respect these hitters at the major league level. They can hit a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Ugla turns on his 96, 97, and it's a home run. It's still 2 runs, and really the key to this inning is 21 pitches is not being able to locate the secondary pitches, but got a live fastball. He should be able to settle down.
Going up swinging is the free-swinging Cody Ross.
That one, Cody. 99 Bayou.
So the Marlins have hit their 106th homer, 1 more than the Nationals. And a breaking ball hit out to center. Breaking back now coming in. Bernardina. He will dive and make the catch. Big first inning for the Marlins. It almost got bigger. A walk and a homer. Great play by Roger. Nationals hit 15 home runs on that 3-4 road trip. And the Washington lineup: Bernardina, Desmond, Zimmerman, Dunn, 7 homers, 14 RBIs his last 11 games. Willingham and Morse, and then Rodriguez, Kennedy, and Steven Strasburg. Now we focus in on Anibal Sanchez, the 26-year-old Florida starter, 8-7 with a 3.5 ERA. He makes his 22nd start. 3-0 career against the Nats, by the way. 3 complete games in his career, one of them a no-hitter. 10 starts against Washington, a 2.97 ERA. Bernardina will lift one out to right center. Cody Ross is right there. Bernardina hitting .276 coming into that AB.
PNC Bank scouting report on Mr. Sanchez. Well, he's got to control his fastball, too. He can throw in the low to mid-90s. He's got a lot of late break. Steady as she goes. This guy will give you 6 or 7 strong every time out. About 2.5 walks per start. He had no-hit stuff in his 13th career Major League start, but that was back in 2006.
And seldom gives up home runs. 5 of them in 129 innings now. Ian Desmond's hit 7, and over his last 13 games, hitting .368.
He, on average, will give up 8 fly ball outs, 7 ground ball outs. I mean, he just will come after you and give you a good outing almost every time out. His last outing, as we were told before the game, an hour rain delay after he warmed up.
Desmond pulls off that one and pops it up right field. The rookie Mike Stanton is there. 2 outs. So it's Stanton in the outfield with Ross and Morrison right, center, and left. Ramirez and Ugla up the middle. Wes Helms and Gabby Sanchez. The corners, Ronnie Paulino, the catcher. The Marlins have the 3rd most errors in the National League at 85. The Cubs have 86. The Nats have made 89. And Dan Ugla's 13 errors are offset now by his twice as many home runs, 26. Ryan Zimmerman, bases empty, 2 outs.
Well, and as we said, his last start, that hour rain delay, then he went back out on the mound, didn't pitch well. But before that, 9 innings against San Francisco, gave up 1 hit, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts.
2-0 to Zimmerman, who got hot right at the end of the last homestand against the Phillies. Took it on the road with him, and Ryan's hitting .343 over his last 9 games. And when it's 2-0, you better not throw a fastball down the middle, even if you're ahead 2-0. He was pumping and hit it straight back. Gabby Sanchez, 6 foot 207. Tommy John surgery 7 years ago as a minor leaguer. Then he battled back to become the Marlins minor league pitcher of the year. Been in the big leagues off and on since '06. Zimmerman looked like an off-speed pitch. He pulled it left side. Well played by Wes Helms. 1, 2, 3, go the Nats. On a hot day like this, rent a bike, take a little ride down the Parkway to beautiful Mount Vernon. 11 years for the Hawk. 11 years for Carter, the kid. It's a fastball right in there to Mike Stanton, a kid himself, good-looking rookie from Strasburg. Call for the Luna double. Get your second room of flooring free at 877-241-LUNA. Strasburg first inning, 23 pitches, 14 strikes. First pitch strikes to 3 of the 5 hitters. Mike Stanton's hit 10 homers. Big, strong, power-hitting outfielder, and a great breaking ball right in there. So the Marlins getting some of their young talent to the big leagues, like Logan Morrison and Mike Stanton, who was a second-rounder 3 years ago. Out of Notre Dame High School in California, where he was a 3-sport star, offered a scholarship to USC, but signed with Florida. How big is he? 6'5", 233. Fastball way upstairs. Strasburg right now having a hard time putting hitters away with 2 strikes.
Well, he looks a little bit rusty. He's flying open a little bit because he is a very competitive young man. But the further he goes, I think the more he'll settle down.
Right by him with a fastball. His 3rd full count and his first strikeout.
He just rears back and throws it around 100 miles an hour on the kinetic pitch track. Here's the delivery, nice, slow, and then he's going to explode forward with those powerful legs and hips.
And if there's a hitter in baseball who can get to that fastball up there, we'd like to meet him. Here's Wes Helms. Getting some third base playing time as a starter with Jorge Cantu off to Texas. Donnie Murphy's a young infielder who can also play third base. But they think when Chris Coughlin comes back, they'll have to find someplace for Logan Morrison. And as I mentioned earlier, he could end up at third. Strasburg goes 2-0. Wes Helms is 1 for his last 21. I think everybody knows he's most effective as a good bat and a defensive guy off the bench. That's a high strike to the 34-year-old hitter. From the now 22-year-old pitcher. Strasburg had a birthday July 20th. That's Ronnie Paulino, the catcher, in the number 8 spot. Front door breaking ball. See ya. Wes Helms overmatched on that one. He could only walk away.
Well, when you're looking for 99 and then he throws one 18-mile-an-hour slower on that big breaking ball, it's very tough to pull the trigger. There you see him on top. There you see the overhead spin on it. It's coming down. And when it comes down, Wes is going to have a seat.
Here's Ronnie Paulino. That's a fastball in there.
That looked like the sinker. That one jumped at the end. He's not thrown a changeup as of yet.
And with Strasburg on a roll, suddenly Pudge wants to go out and chat. Steve McCaddy will tell you on nights Strasburg pitches, it's his most stressful day out of the 5 on his rotation.
Well, there's just so much expected of Steven. Every eye is on him. Every pitch. They're talking about his mechanics.
There's that front door breaking ball, but it stays inside.
I was told this morning that Mike Pagliarulo says that he undercuts his pitches, and that's what led to him breaking down. So everybody's a critic.
So he was, what, a 260 hitter?
Oh, yeah. And now he's a pitching coach, too.
Okay. Sharply hit. Adam Kennedy, backhand, picks it up the middle. And a good inning for Strasburg with 2 strikeouts and a grounder. The power of Strasburg and the power of Dunn. Your own great moment starts at Hager.com. And by Jaguar. Visit your local Jaguar dealer to experience the 2011 Jaguar XJ. Look at that Masson speedboat making its way up the Potomac on a beautiful Tuesday evening in August. Where is this season going? It is August the 10th. Here's Adam Dunn, followed by Willingham and Morse, bottom of the second.
Including tonight, 50 games left for the Nationals.
How about that? Marlins are 2 behind because they got rained out on Sunday. And a very bizarre scenario. This is a pop-up foul ground, long way to go. And the third baseman, Wes Helms, will get there. 3 balls in the air of the first 4. Again, Sanchez, all of them easy plays. Willingham and Morse. The Marlins got rained out Sunday against St. Louis at home. There is no date between now and the end of the season when they can play a makeup game. If they have to do it, let's say St. Louis and Cincinnati end up a half game apart in the Central, and that game would have to be played. There's a possibility it would have to be played in St. Louis because the Dolphins and the University of Miami have first call on Sun Life Stadium that time of the year. And I'm sure the folks in Cincinnati wouldn't be too happy about that. Willingham hitting at 264. Josh is only 2 for his last 18. That was a hanging off speed pitch. And he was way out ahead.
Looks like he's up on the plate a little bit more tonight.
It's all about adjustments when things aren't going well. And 264 is about as low as Josh has been all year. His on-base percentage under 390. He was over 400 until recently. He'll hit that ball hard the other way. Rick Eckstein will be pleased with that effort. Josh doesn't do that very often. It was caught by Mike Stanton. Michael Morse coming up with 2 outs. There's another Sunday family fun pack day coming. Diamondbacks here for the weekend. A seat, hot dog, chips, a soda, starting at just $14. Visit nationals.com/kids to purchase your family fun pack tickets. As a starter, 27 times, Michael hitting .307. He's at .316 overall. Phillies are hosting the Dodgers tonight, 1-0 LA. That is Padilla and Kendrick. The Rockies are at New York. Ubaldo Jimenez 17-2 going against Mike Pelfrey.
Kind of a mismatch. Pelfrey hasn't had a good outing in his last 10 starts.
Yeah, he was really good the first half.
They figured out he has a good fork ball. Now you got to make some adjustments.
No score there. Second inning later, the Braves at Houston behind Jair Jurgens.
Looked at it this morning. Pelfrey in his last 45 innings over those 10 starts, 40 runs given up.
Ouch.
So gotta mix it up now. Okay, you got my fork ball. I gotta do something different.
Mets are only a half game in front of the Marlins for third place. Way outside to Morse. Phillies a game and a half back of the Braves, who've won 64 games. Mets 8.5, Fish 9, Nats 15 back in the East. Two-two, and Morse hits it well to left. Drifting over and grabbing it, Logan Morrison. Nats have two lasers caught here in the second inning. 2-0 Florida. Saturday, Strasburg, Perry, Enright for Sunday. There's your next five after tonight. And the folks at DC 50 join us on Sundays for Nationals baseball. Strasburg, 38 pitches, 22 strikes. Gabby Sanchez batted earlier. This is Anibal Sanchez, and we could see Brian Sanchez out of their bullpen later. Anibal, 5 for 22. He can swing the bat a little. Not too many pitchers enjoy facing this guy, and it's 0-2.
Remember Brian Bannister of the Royals? And 99 right by his melon. Not that it was intentional. I mean, when he cuts one loose and it gets away from him.
And Strasburg has fanned 3 of the last 4 Marlins, doing what you're supposed to do at the bottom of the lineup, challenging hitters and throwing it by them.
Well, and mechanically, he's free and easy. He's just letting it go. Looks very slow and deliberate, very calm, quiet, they would say.
By the way, we saw a couple of other replays of Uggla's home run during the break between innings. According to the pitch track, it was not a strike that he hit. It was a fastball up out of the box.
No, it was up and in.
He went 96. Right up and got it.
And that just shows you. You know, you can throw 100 in this league. They can hit it.
Hanley Ramirez drives this one to right, and that's over Michael Morse. It'll one-hop at the wall. Morse makes a good play. And just in time is Hanley Ramirez, who hit it extremely hard the other way.
That was 98. It's a good hitting ball club here. Got to locate those pitches, maybe throw a few more sinkers. UPS store will show it straight down the middle. Hanley knows he can't pull that, so he goes the other way, and that's just a nice head down swing, and it's a line drive off the wall.
UPS Store packages our pitch track. They do a lot more than shipping, like offering moving boxes and supplies. Logan Morrison, the damaging walk in the first inning with 1 out, and he scored on the Uggla home run. Two and 0.
That looked like his changeup. And as I said before, the secondary pitches are going to be the ones that'll take the longest for him to get accustomed to throwing again in this kind of situation.
The field pitches?
I think that's the first one he's throwing tonight.
Way upstairs, 3-0. Gabby Sanchez flied to right his first time after a long at bat. And a borderline call goes Strasburg's way on 3-0.
Well, and it's just human nature, too, for Steven to whatever made his arm stiff, whatever made his shoulder tight, to try to find out what did it. Whether it's the changeup, the curveball, and so I'm sure he's looking for the same thing that happened 2 weeks ago.
He walks a rookie for the second time, who's hitting .234.
Well, and I think right now it's just a little bit of a battle with himself and his mechanics. Overthrew the changeup a little bit, didn't have a good feel for it, and then just got frustrated and threw a couple more fastballs for balls.
Tough hitter here, Gabby Sanchez. As mentioned earlier, in the top 10 in the league with runners in scoring position. Strasburg with 1 out in the third, nearing 50 pitches. He starts him off with a breaking ball and misses up high.
It was a good idea. Just throw a get-me-over curveball, try to work ahead. Try to get this guy to get you a ground ball, get out of the inning. It's 2 pitches away from 50 already.
Ramirez doubled with 1 out, then Morrison walked. Way inside. And here comes Steve McCatty.
Well, I mean, we've talked about this before. When he gets a little wild, he opens up early, and that front shoulder comes out, and you can't get your arm up high enough and quick enough to follow through. And it's the same thing while watching. I talked to Colin Ballister about this. You know, when he hit those 2 guys in the head, his shoulder was going to first base and his arm's going to third base, and that's why the ball goes high and inside, and that's why you're seeing a lot of these pitches go high and inside on the right-handers. Now watch the front shoulder. It'll go towards the first base side, and then it takes a little bit longer for your arm to catch up. Right there as he opens up, and the shoulder comes through. The ball's just going to stay up and out of the strike zone. But Pudge's done a good job. When you start flying open like that, you got to throw some more breaking balls. And
all right, let's see what the first pitch is after the pitching coach visits. Usually a heater. It is, and he misses with it.
It's a good pitch.
3-0 with a dangerous hitter on deck who's already homered tonight.
And it looked like a sinker.
.30 pitch in there.
Remember that? I can't remember which game it was. He threw like 37 pitches in the first inning, and most of the balls were his fastball. And then once he went to his breaking ball, he started throwing a lot more strikes. I mean, it just looks like he's trying to fight to get that fastball over.
And a pop-up left side, drifting out of play. That sounds to me like the San Francisco game, because he gave up the home runs There were 3 line drives to the outfield, another one to Desmond the following inning, and then after that he shut the door.
That wasn't it. It was a day game.
Is that Kansas City?
Yeah, and he just kept throwing it and throwing it and throwing it. It's like, okay, you got a great curveball, a great changeup, a great sinker, and you want that downward plane. So his 4-seam fastball, you might not have command right now, but you got 3 other pitches to go with it.
This is his 4th full count. There's a broken bat. Zimmerman charges, almost throws it away, and as he pulls Kennedy off the bag, Adam tags the runner. Outstanding play by Kennedy. It'll be 1st and 3rd, 2 outs. Adam, just to be safe, in case he was not on the bag, did tag Logan Morrison.
Well, right there, Ryan a little bit quick on the throw to try to get the double play, but a great job by Adam Kennedy saving not only the play, but getting it out to go with it.
And I think the replay shows that throw had pulled him off the base. So here we go. Strasburg and Ugla again with
2 outs.
Guys on base and 2 outs. When he hit that home run, Ugla also scored his 76th run of the year. He's 4th in the league in that department.
Well, and he's working real fast, too. Pudge needs to stand up sometimes and slow him down. He's just going one right after another jumper. And that's his competitive nature. He wants to get this right. He wants to be the best. But you just can't let him go out there and keep firing it and firing it and firing it. You got to slow him down a little bit.
Dangerous count, 2-0. Although Ugla may be the one guy in the league right now who's most dangerous with 2 strikes. Ugla hammers another one to left field. That'll bounce at the wall. It's going to drive in 2 runs. Unless the Nats work the relay and the throw is wide. And Dan Ugla has driven in 4 runs against Steven Strasburg.
Well, and both of them are on high fastballs. I think that one was even faster than the last one he hit. But listen, this guy doesn't have 26 home runs for nothing. 2-1 fastball. He's looking dead red.
Not even close to being a strike.
You know.
How about that?
Yeah, but he's looking for a fastball. They're not worried about where it is in the strike zone. When they think a fastball's coming and they're ready. And he just turned on that.
Here's Cody Ross, who flared one to center first time. Bernardino made that diving catch. And Craig Stammen, who now gives the Nationals 2 guys with the ability to go long out of that bullpen, is throwing. And Strasburg's only registered 8 outs in the game.
2 more pitches will be 60.
Marlins, the first team he has pitched against twice. Pirates, Indians, White Sox, Royals, Braves, Mets, Giants, Florida, Cincinnati until tonight.
Well, and if you took anybody, though, and gave him almost 3 weeks off, and he really wasn't hurt, it was just precautionary, you know, you're going to have a little bit of rust. But you also have to figure out quickly what's working for you and what isn't.
And a ball out to short. Desmond had the runner flashing in front of him. Marlins pick up 2 more, and Dan Ugla doing big-time damage tonight. 4-0 Florida. Ring of Honor now here with Gary Carter, and he's kind enough to join us up here in the booth. Hawk, first of all, congratulations on your tremendous honor tonight and in Cooperstown. What does it mean to you to be able to come back, at least to this franchise, now that it's into D.C., and be recognized like this?
Well, I understand the history, the connection. And for me, personally, when homage is being paid for my career, I'm very, very appreciative. And I think the Washington Nationals, from the bottom of my heart, I couldn't get those words out in the pregame ceremony, but it's really a tremendous honor.
Thoughts playing up in Montreal all those years, and all the great things you did, and playing north of the border. Was that strange to go up to Canada to play in the major leagues for 11 years?
It was an adjustment. It was different. It was new to me. A different culture, playing in the cold weather on the AstroTurf. So there were a lot of adjustments that had to be made, but I was just a kid that wanted the opportunity, wanted the chance, and I was going to make the most of it. Those other things were circumstantial, and they were going to take care of themselves.
And Andre, you were part of an organization up there that produced amazing talent out of their minor league system. A lot of it had to be sent elsewhere because the Expos could not afford to hold on to a lot of those guys. How tough was that, knowing that had those guys stayed, you could have had competitive ball clubs year after year?
Yeah, well, that was one of the unfortunate parts about playing there. And that was when we felt we were ripe and ready, then you were unaffordable. And that is pretty much the history of that organization and probably its downfall. But we did have a lot of young and talented individuals, and the one thing they did real well is they drafted and they developed their minor league talent.
Yeah, they had some amazing scouting and evaluators at the time, and then you got to the point in your career where you wanted to move on, and you did one of the most selfless things ever heard of in any sports industry. You went to the Cubs, you said, I'll play for whatever you want to put down on the paper, and whatever they put down, you signed it, went out, had one of your best seasons ever. Was it as motivational to get out of Montreal at that point and play for the Cubs, or was it just time for you to move to a different vicinity and you just loved playing in Wrigley?
Well, it was. I got caught up in the business aspect of it, and that was unfortunate also. I felt that I would rather have retired as an Expo, but it was a blessing in a sense because it got me off the AstroTurf and it prolonged my career. I was embraced by those fans, and they allowed me to just enjoy the game, which was the most important thing. It wasn't a monetary issue. It was pride and principle. I would have never been able to look myself in the mirror signing a contract that was going to pay me less money as a free agent to stay there when it's tough enough getting a quality free agent to want to come across the board and play. So it was, for me, it was the right choice, the right decision. It was just time for me to move on.
And Andre, it all culminated for you a couple of weeks ago in Cooperstown. By the way, Strasburg trying to bunt Pudge Rodriguez to second base here and fouling it off. Can you even come close to describing your emotions becoming a member with your plaque now in Cooperstown?
Not really. It's been so overwhelming. It's been everything that people said it would be and then some. I just didn't know what to envision when I stepped foot in Cooperstown those 3 days prior to the ceremony itself. And I just wanted to enjoy the moment. My family was there. A lot of friends came up. And I wanted to make the most of it. And it passed so quickly that it was like a blip. And I had a lot of fun with it. The toughest part for me, though, was getting through that speech because I felt that I had prepared so much and put so much energy into it, and I didn't want to let a lot of people down. And I was able to get through it, and then as you saw, I lost it a little bit here tonight. That's the first time that my emotions have really got the best of me, but that's just how much I really appreciate this honor.
Were you more nervous stepping in front of the 50-some-odd Hall of Famers, or was it staring out into a crowd and having to give a public speech?
No, well, those guys were behind me. They were kind of ribbing me a little bit. they were making bets on when I would lose it. I could, I could hear whispers, "Oh, here it comes, here it comes." So that kind of energized me a little bit. But I was looking far beyond my family who were seated in the first row. I was looking back out in the tent section because I didn't want them to cause me to let my emotions get the most of me.
Andre, we've seen so much video of you playing, how hard you played, diving for balls. Your knees took a beating on that turf up in Montreal. What was it that motivated you, like Mark Grace said on the scoreboard tonight, to come out and play the right way every single day? He said you never missed infield, you never missed outfield. What motivated you to do that?
I realized the damage was done early on, and the only thing I could control was how I reacted to it. And that was to try to make my work ethic not impeccable, but make sure that I wasn't cheating myself. My career could end at any time. I was told your lifespan may be 4 years at tops, and that was motivating enough. I set a goal to play 15 years, and I surpassed that by playing 20 years. And finally, I said, I want to walk away from the game on my terms and be able to give the uniform back. And when that happened, then I looked back on my career, and I knew that I had given it my best effort, and I didn't have anything to hold my head for.
Well, on a serious note, I got to face you 17 times, and instead of the
really?
Hawk,
that many?
Yeah, that many. And
what was I, about
5 for 17?
5 for 17.
Not that he's counting or anything.
No, I went back and I looked at it today because I also, the kid, Gary Carter, will be coming up here a little later. But you were such an imposing figure for any pitcher to face. You had that V cut. They shouldn't have called you the Hawk. They should have called you the Freak because genetically you were as well built as any baseball player I've ever seen. Any pitchers ever tell you scared the dickens out of them? Because you did me, and I know you did our staff. I mean, you and I have talked many times about the time we intentionally walked you 5 times in a game, and you were not happy about it. Tell that story when we were so scared to death of you, we walked you every time.
Well, I was hot. I was coming off of a series against the Astros, I think, where I had 4 home runs. I had 5 in a road trip. And we were back in regular. Lou said, "We're not going to pitch to you today." And I thought he was just kidding. And Doggy was sitting in the dugout. He was laughing about it. And sure enough, every time I came up with men in scoring position on base, Lou put up the 4 fingers. The game, I think, went about 16 innings, and I was 1 for 3 with 5 intentional walks, and the guys behind me were scratching their heads. We eventually wind up winning the game, but Lou made a comment. He said, "Well, maybe if we'd have pitched to him earlier, we would have lost earlier."
2 on, 2 out as Roger Bernardino works for a walk. We're with Hall of Famer Andre Dawson, honored here at the ballpark tonight by being inducted into the first ever Nationals Ring of Honor. Andre, I'm interested in your thoughts on the fact that a ball club that you came to the major leagues with and played with for a long time basically doesn't exist anymore. Is there an emptiness to that for you with Montreal not having a ball club?
It was, especially early on when everything sort of transpired. As tough as it is to get a franchise, you really don't want to lose it because chances are you may not ever get it again. And I know what the game meant to the fans there, and to feel their emotion, their hurt when the team was no longer in existence. From a personal perspective, it bothered you a little bit because this is an organization that I came up through the minor league system. I played there 10 years, and I had a lot of ties, a lot of relationships, and as damaging as it is, you really hate to see that happen.
Now, as far as what you and Tony Perez do with the Marlins and helping some of these young players, a couple of guys tonight, Hanley Ramirez has just developed into one of the best players in the major leagues. Watching Dan Ugla, take Steven Strasburg deep. Does that bring back memories when you first came up to the big leagues and had to start facing some of these guys that could throw 95, 100 miles an hour?
Well, I tell you, Dibs, I had to face Tom Seaver, Steve Carlton, who I got my very first hit off, but then we went and I saw Nolan Ryan, Tom Seaver, and I was scratching my head. And Tony Perez pulled me over and he said, "Hey, Rook, listen." He said, "Those guys are going to be Hall of Famers." He said, "But the guys behind them, those are the ones you got to worry about."
Go get your hits off the 3, 4, 5.
Take what you can against the great ones. 2 balls and a strike to Ian Desmond. 2 on, 2 out for the Nats. Bottom of the 3rd. And Desmond will swing over the top of that one Andre, we're honored that you would come up to the booth and spend 10 minutes with us. Thank you so much, and continued good health and good luck, and our privilege to have you with us tonight.
Okay, thank you guys for having me.
Always great to see you, man. Always great to see you.
And I still can't believe he had a hard time slipping that old jersey on like we saw in that video.
Oh, my God. He looks like he can still play.
He could play tomorrow. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Desmond. Little chopper to third, and oh, it's Wes Helms missing the ball. He was going to go touch the third base bag, and he forgot to take the baseball with him. And the Nationals score a gift-wrapped run here in the 3rd inning. That'll be an E5 all the way. And a big break for Washington.
Well, the Nats needed a break right here. Wes Helms comes in, lets the hop get to him before he can get to it. He tries to cut it off, then the ball doesn't come up on the grass. Pudge scores easily, and so you got to make the most of those errors when they happen, and the Nationals get a run out of the deal. Should have been an inning-ending ground ball.
Looked like he was making his move to the bag without the ball. And now the Nationals' best clutch hitter, Ryan Zimmerman, comes up, and he represents the tying run in what was a 4-0 game. That's a fastball on the inside corner.
Well, since you're still here, we can continue. When you were in the major leagues, and I know I just talked to Tom Gordon, his son is the top prospect with the Dodgers, 73 stolen bases in the minor leagues. Did you know right off in the minor leagues that you were going to be not only a power guy, but also a great base stealer? All right.
I think we got you now, Andre.
Okay, I knew that I had the talent to play the game and to play the game to perform the intangibles and to perform at a high level. But there's a big and huge difference in the minor leagues and when you get to the big leagues. And I just wanted to make sure once I got my feet up underneath me, I didn't just get overwhelmed by the game or let it come to me and just enjoy the moment and make the most of it.
Andre, thanks so much. Our honor to have you tonight.
Thank
Andre
you.
Dawson, the Hall of Famer. 4-1 Marlins after 3. Homer in the first, double in the third, 4 RBIs against Strasburg.
Well, a couple of high fastballs, and that's the difference in this ball game. One a 2-run home run, the other's a 2-out or a double, a 2 RBI double. But once again, location up in the zone. He just quickened up and made some contact.
Strasburg 60 pitches in 3 innings. Takes on Mike Stanton here and bounces that one 2-0. Stanton, strikeout victim number 1, leading off the second. He rips that's a fair ball. It'll hit the pad and deaden right in front of Josh Willingham. I mean, he was all over that 2-0 pitch. Fastball mid-90s. And the Marlins have 4 hits. All 4 of them extra bases.
Well, this looks like a fastball that comes back over the plate, but it's up in the zone. This kid's 6'5", quick hands, young and strong right over the bag.
Craig Stammen up again. Here's Wes Helms, who took strike 3 his first time up. That one about 4 feet foul, going the other way.
Right now, they're just looking fastball off of Strasburg because he's not able to locate the changeup. He hadn't thrown many of them. Breaking ball has been backing up on the right-handers, so he's not throwing an awful lot of those. So they're just sitting dead red.
There's another one, flared to left. It'll hang up for Willingham. Josh is there to grab it for the first out. So now the Marlins have number 8, Paulino, number 9, Sanchez coming up. We might be just beyond twilight time here at 8:10 Eastern. And Paulino, who bounced out, hit the ball rather sharply to Adam Kennedy first time up. And Desmond receiving on a daylight play with Stanton at second base. Stanton has stolen 4 bases this year. If you forget about him, he'll get over to third base with 1 out. Breaking ball low and away. Dodgers lead 3-0 at Philadelphia. They're in the 4th now. At Jimenez-Pelfrey pitching matchup. Scoreless at New York, 4th inning. And the Braves are just underway at Houston. Two and 0.
There's a overhead view of Steven.
Got inside on his hands. Zimmerman runs the runner back to second. Throws out Paulino for the second out. That'll bring up the pitcher, Sanchez. Later in the week, every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Miller Lite Party Night here at the ballpark. Get a Scoreboard Pavilion seat and a drink voucher for $20, $22 for Prime Games. Come early, pregame happy hour at the Miller Lite Scoreboard Walk Bar featuring $5 beers. Anibal Sanchez struck out swinging first time. Strasburg, a strikeout flurry at the bottom of the order in the second, and then beginning the third, and no other Ks on the night.
Well, and I think he may go one more if he can get out of this and be around 70 pitches. That would put him 80 to 85 pitches, and then his spot in the order, if they don't get to it in the bottom half of this inning, he's due up 6th in the order right now.
Strike 2.
That was pitch number 70. I know they wanted to probably stay around 90 pitches with him tonight, but it's hot. He's done exactly what he needs to do to get through today.
Including striking out the pitcher twice. Leadoff double doesn't hurt. Adam Dunn leads off in the 4th. Dunn, Willingham, and Morris in a 4-1 game. just had to know this would end up being a DQ.
Well, he's getting closer, though. So he had to get a little mini bike to get him across the finish line. Not a bad job. So the Geico President's Race, the winner is, well, even if he's disqualified, right across the teeth.
Right in the chops.
Well, he's got a nice scarf.
You know what Ryan Zimmerman says about that Exmo?
Oh, can make you look real good
and real bad. Bottom of the fourth inning. Our fans aren't giving up on this one. 4-1 Marlins. Big hitters coming up. By the way, I did see Screech at the end disgustedly throw away the checkered flag. And then he ruled disqualified on Teddy Roosevelt. I think that's Teddy's 5th or 6th DQ over the years. Here's Adam Dunn, who fouled out to Wes Helms, the only infielder on the left side of the infield, first time up. Sanchez works him away and misses. Big National League series in Cincinnati this week. St. Louis beat the Reds last night. They're one game apart in the Central. Yadier Molina has homered, but the Reds just scored 2 in the third to tie that game 2-2. Johnny Cueto going for Cincinnati. Adam Dunn's former ball club is Randy St. Clair, watching his pitcher operate against the team he used to work for. And, of course, Randy was in Montreal as well.
He's another rookie, Jaime Garcia.
Yep.
He's going for the Cardinals.
2-0 to Dunn, and that's on the inside corner. Adam Dunn leads the home run race by 2 over Joey Votto and Albert Pujols. And 4 over Ugla, who's homered here tonight. Look out, folks. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Josh Willingham, the former Marlin, is next. The team has a 9-game home run streak going back to the Saturday home game against the Phillies. And Dunn swings through that one. Looked like a breaking ball boring down and in on him. Second strikeout for Anibal Sanchez. AT&T Trivia. The most walk-off RBIs for the Nats or Expos since 1974. Could Ryan Zimmerman have that record?
Or maybe Larry Walker. Or maybe Andre Dawson.
Yep. Willingham pops it up on the first pitch. It'll be unreachable. I'm just looking at some of the old notes I saved on Montreal. They had 14 winning records in 36 years. And when the lockout occurred on August 20th of 1994, they had won 20 of 23 games and were 72-40. Best record in the National League. There was no World Series or playoffs that year. And an unidentified baseball man told me today, the way Gene Mauch handled his bullpen, Uget Urbina, and I think John Wetland was the other, might have been worn out by the end of that season. Because he was going to those two guys early and often. But Montreal had its best chance ever. Now
was Mel Rojas still around at that time?
He wasn't mentioned to me. I know he did close there for a while. There's Willingham turning on one, hitting an upper deck.
Could have been Wetland, and then Wetland went over to the Yankees, I think, 95, 96.
Yeah, that was 94, and the lockout occurred on August 20th. Now, of course, the Expos did win a postseason series once. They beat the Phillies in 5 games in 81. And there's Willingham walking away, striking out.
Well, and there's a differential on his breaking ball, right around 80. His fastball's in the low 90s. So you're trying to get that bat head out there like the foul ball upper deck. Kinetic right here on the big 12-6 breaking ball. And it was just a thing of beauty right there by Sanchez.
Kinetic North America providing world-class technology to our national and homeland security customers. 2 outs, nobody on. Michael Morse, the hitter. Hit the ball well, lined out deep to left, first time. Looked like he stopped his bat. And Michael will break his bat in half. The barrel ends up out by second base.
.94 miles an hour in on your hands. Can't feel real good. Let's watch the bat here. This is just a great fastball in on the hand. You see him get locked up.
It was funny because, well, not real funny, but unusual. Sanchez was watching the flight of the ball. All of a sudden, he heard the barrel of the bat hit the ground right behind him. And he was getting out of dodge. 1-2 to Morris, and that just misses.
Well, and you saw him leaning forward, trying to get it going for that 94 mile an hour fastball, and then the ball comes in at 80.
Upstairs, 3-2.
Tries to overthrow that one.
If the inning continues, Pudge Rodriguez, who has the best contact by the Nats against Sanchez so far. Michael Morse, a late reaction. Anibal Sanchez strikes out the side. Everything going the Marlins' way early in this one. 4-1 after 4. Nationals.com/tickets. 2 months and 2 days ago, that debut. Top of the order for the Marlins here in the 5th, and Steven pours in a fastball for a strike to Hanley Ramirez.
Well, as you would expect with a guy with his kind of stuff and his abilities, not easy to hit off of even the third time through the batting order.
Great breaking ball to follow up the heater. Hanley Ramirez took a first pitch fastball last time to the wall in right field. throws a breaking ball, and Hanley Ramirez kills it to left field. Now the Marlins have 5 hits, and every one of them have been for extra bases.
It's a good hitting team, and basically Stevens only throwing 2 pitches tonight. Fastball, breaking ball. He threw back-to-back breaking balls. Ramirez basically hitting the cover off of it right over Ryan Zimmerman's head.
And that might be it. Scoreboard shows 74 pitches, and Jim Riggleman on his way to the mound. It was Stammen earlier, and the way the infield's gathering around, Jim Riggleman's about to ask for the baseball. We'll see.
Well, he's had 20 days off since he last pitched in Cincinnati on the 21st. I think it's unrealistic to think he'd come out here and just mow down the Marlins, a pretty good hitting ball club.
Looks like he's staying. Batista ready now. Stammen twice earlier.
Well, he's up third. I mean, they had about another 15 pitches going for him. He's throwing free and easy. I don't think it's as much. Jim Riggleman's still trying to manage a ball game here for the Nationals to try to win. Right. So you can't just let him stand out there and you know, now you're going through the order for the 3rd time, and guys are really swinging the bat well off of him, even hitting his breaking stuff now. But that's what makes him so tough when he has 4 pitches, but he's going to have to learn, and this is only his 10th big league start, that some nights you're not going to have a good fastball, and you got to go after him with off-speed stuff and your sinker. Hadn't thrown a lot of sinkers tonight. Hasn't thrown a lot of changeups at all. Maybe that's, you know, their plan tonight, but still, when you're playing a major league game, it's not easy to go out there with 2 pitches, go through the lineup 3 times.
First pitch pop-up out of play from Logan Morrison. Now, you can talk about the Ugla homers, the homer and the double, the 4 RBIs, but 2 of the most damaging at-bats have been Logan Morrison. If Strasburg retires him, Ugla doesn't bat in the 1st inning, and probably not the 3rd. But 2 walks to this rookie, who's had 47 big league at-bats, have really damaged Strasburg and the Nats tonight. Extending both innings far enough to get to the cleanup man. '89 on the off-speed pitch. Never thought I'd say that. Well, the Marlins making outs every way possible, but also getting extra base hits, 5 of them. A homer and 4 doubles. Well off the plate, 2-2. Crowd that appears to be right around 30,000 here tonight. Watching Ramirez double twice, Ugla homer and double. Strikeouts per 9 innings pitched all time by a right-handed pitcher. Now, obviously, those guys have been around for a long time.
Minimum 8 starts.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure those guys made 8.
No. This is by 8 starts.
In a season?
8 or more.
Okay. And a ball pulled to the right side. Kennedy has it for the first out, and Hanley Ramirez over to 3rd base. Get ready for one blockbuster hit after another. Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races, West Virginia.
Pedro Martinez guy was pretty good.
How about that? He's on the list 3 different times. Pound for pound, one of the meanest and hardest throwing guys ever.
Yes, he was.
He was Roy Oswalt before Roy Oswalt. He didn't hesitate at all to throw in on a guy's hands. Gabby Sanchez 0 for 2. Fly ball to right. Ground ball to third.
82 pitches now.
And a good breaker. Well, the Dodgers putting a headache on the Phillies now. 7-0 4th inning. And there's a headache waiting. Dan Uggla, 4 RBIs tonight. That ball well hit to left. Willingham, it takes off on him, and it glances off of his glove to the bullpen wall. Marlins lead 5-1. That ball hit extremely hard, and it really took off on Willingham. That'll be an interesting decision for the official scorer. Strasburg will be pulled from the game.
No, this is a hit. This ball's well struck. Fastball up again. Maybe even something off speed, but goes over the hammer's head.
Well, I agree with you, but that doesn't mean that's the way it's going to be called. They haven't put a hit on the board yet. Strasburg is done after 4 1/3. Couple of walks, 4 strikeouts. We think 6 hits. And into the bullpen go the Nats. Stevens' roughest start to date. Williamsburg. Celebrate the world we share. Chinatown all lit up tonight beautifully. And down south of there, here at DC Southeast Nationals Park, Steven Strasburg is gone after 84 pitches, 51 strikes, pitching 4 1/3 innings. And Miguel Batista will take over for the Nats here. With Dan Uggla coming up next, Jim Riggleman makes the pitching change. Nothing cheap about the Marlins' hits in this inning. And it was ruled a double off the glove of Willingham. And all 6 of their hits have been extra bases. Dan Uggla's RBI total has climbed up to 71. I think he likes the ball up, doesn't he?
I think he just likes any fastball he could swing and try to hit.
He might be a guy who goes up and eliminates the breaking stuff and the off-speed stuff from everybody he faces. He's always been strikeout prone. He's at 103 right now, roughly 2/3 of the way through the season. But he's doing some big-time damage. And I don't hear anything about the Marlins shopping him these days. His name the last couple of years would get bounced around at the trading deadline. They did move Jorge Cantu. And they were able to do that because of the emergence of rookie Mike Stanton in right field. And then the call-up of left fielder Logan Morrison. Edwin Rodriguez, the interim manager, has them playing .500 ball under him. It's a good breaking ball.
Well, and you're not going to find too many second basemen that have 30 to 40 home run potential year in and year out, and Ugla does.
Not now that Jeff Kent's retired.
Yep.
I mean, he was the guy before Ugla, and there haven't been many.
You're going to be moving into a new stadium in a couple of years. You got to go see somebody. Can't get rid of every good player you have.
Yeah. Two balls and 2 strikes. Cody Ross to follow. Another free swinging right-handed batter. He struck out 95 times this year.
This is a team very similar to our own. I mean, they're just behind us in offense and just in front of us in pitching. What did you say, by a 100th?
100th of a run.
100th of a run.
And both teams have defensive issues.
But they have Ricky Nolasco, obviously Anibal Sanchez, Josh Johnson.
Oh yeah.
So they've got at least that threesome. And that's where you look next with the Nationals, is you got to start building and getting these young guys in there. And the Marlins have done a great job with some of the acquisitions and some of their draft picks.
With not a large at all payroll, because they just don't draw. It's interesting. We've learned about the Marlins over the last couple of years. Of the major league teams, they have some of the highest television ratings for their local telecasts. But those folks don't go to the games.
Right. They just sit at home in their air-conditioned houses. They don't want to go. It's too humid, so you got to put a roof on top. It's kind of like Arizona. There's no way you could sit in the middle of August and watch a game in Arizona. It was 100 degrees at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
It was 110 degrees when we left there.
They'll have their retractable dome in 2011 in the Little Havana section of Miami, not far from downtown, side of the old Orange Bowl. And there seems to be a discussion raging about that, whether people from way north in Lauderdale will make that drive. I mean, if you live in West Palm or Lauderdale, you're talking about an hour to an hour and a half. We all know what 95's like here. At about 30%, and that's what it's like down there. Way inside, 3-0, and Batista, who's walked one batter, threatening to load the bases here. Second base is Sanchez, who doubled, driving in Ramirez, and then Ugla walked.
I know when San Francisco built their stadium downtown, a lot of people kind of scoffed at that and said, hey, you're moving it from where it used to be. Well, it's done quite well. And it's still one of the better drawing stadiums around Major League Baseball. So hopefully, if this is, I guess, convenient for people to get to, maybe they'll come out 10,000, 15,000 more per game.
That ball's popped up to the right side. Adam Dunn is there. Infield fly rule in effect for the second out of the inning.
I mean, they've certainly been missing some great baseball the last couple of years. What,
yeah.
87 wins last year, 84 the year before. It's a good baseball team. They draw more, make more money, and keep some of these stars in-house.
Marlins won 87 last year, 84 the year before that, 71 in 07, 78 in 06 when Joe Girardi was the manager of the year.
Right.
People didn't think they were going to win 60 games that year. That's when they had all that talent. Olson, Johnson, Josh Willingham, Ugla. They were all Rookie of the Year candidates from the same young ball club. Here's Mike Stanton, who doubled hard down the third base line last time. 2-0. '51st Major League game for Mike Stanton. And Batista goes 3-0 again. Did that to Ross before getting him. Wes Helms on deck.
Well, Miguel's best pitch is his sinker. And it's kind of hard to throw a lot of sinking fastballs in on these guys, watching them, what they did against Strasburg. There's one.
Off the plate, ball 4. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Marlins bullpen had a lot of issues early in the season. That's why their ERA is over 4. The Nats bullpen right now at just over 3.5 runs a game. And that'll put Steve McCatty and Jim Riggleman in the Haynes comfort zone when they can rely on their guys middle and late in ball games. But Rob, we all know they have pitched way too many innings this year. Ball 1.
It's a question of getting guys next season to go deeper into ball games. I know that's one of the things that's Buck Showalter is insisting on with his young pitchers up in Baltimore, and they've gone 6-1 under Buck. You gotta push yourself to go beyond 18 outs, even 21 outs. I mean, if you can get 24 outs, or if you can throw a complete game, that's only going to help the bullpen the next night, the next night, the next night. But getting these guys in for the last 9 or 10 outs every night, eventually they're just going to have some really bad nights, and you're going to drop back at the pack.
Helms 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flare to left. And Batista just goes 2-0 to another hitter.
I mean, we're 10th in offense, 10th in pitching, and 16th in defense.
And last year it was 16th in pitching and defense.
Yeah, I mean, some things are much improved, but the innings-eating pitchers that we need, and a guy like Jason Marquis was brought in here, given $15 million to eat a lot of innings. Some of these young guys, I mean, that's going to keep them in the big leagues if they can go 7 innings.
Well, Helms gets jammed and puts it right down the line to score 2 runs. And the Marlins lead 7-1. Tacking on 3 more here in the 5th inning. And 6 of those runs will be charged to Steven Strasburg.
Well, it's a little sinker down and in. Wes Helms knows the book on Miguel Batista. He jams himself, but he still gets the double down the line. And they will walk Paulino to get to the pitcher.
Bases loaded again with 2 outs. And Sanchez will be the 9th Marlin to bat here in the 5th inning. Another thing, all these long counts have just taken the air out of this stadium, out of this crowd, and the defense standing around for a long, long time. This place is always energized when Steven pitches. But it's been a long night. Seems like the time of possession clock is about 80% Florida right now. Craig Stammen up again. 3rd time tonight. Breaking ball to the pitcher, missing. Way outside. And Steve McCatty wants to know what's going on. Batista's been behind every hitter. He's faced 5 batters and retired 1. And on Cody Ross, he went 3-0. Let's pay off our AT&T trivia now.
I'm going to say Larry Walker.
I'll take Zimmerman just for the fun of it. The most walk-off RBIs for the Nats Expos since 74. I mean, we're going back a long, long way.
The Hawk.
Andre Dawson.
Well, I don't think Walker spent as much time as Andre Dawson up in Montreal. He spent 11 years.
We're told that my horse came in the place position. Number 2. The Hawk.
I forget Flag Guerrero was up there doing damage.
Yeah, and they say that on none of those 9 did Vlad swing at a strike. That guy, he'll swing at anything in the ballpark. And don't tell me he's not a big reason that Texas club isn't 8 games out in front in their division. They're getting some pitching too, but they have really benefited from him coming aboard. On a 2-1 pitch, a good swing by Anibal Sanchez, and the count goes even. Well, this is not what we expected coming home off a road trip. The Nats have been so good at home. 6 games over 500 here. He's going to call him out on a borderline pitch, and the Nats will take it. The Marlins score 3 more runs, and halfway through the game lead 7-1. Just flying open a little bit too much, and then when some of the fastballs were in the hitting zone, they were not missed by the Marlins. Then he tried getting the breaking ball over, and then you see the last hit that he gave up to Gabby Sanchez. So bottom line is he got himself back out there. He threw 84 pitches, got a little bit of the rust off, but 20 days in between starts, and it really showed. And if he got some of that rust off, his matchup against the strikeout-prone Arizona Diamondbacks Sunday should be most interesting. Bottom of the 5th inning, Rodriguez, Kennedy, and then what you would assume would be a pinch hitter for Batista.
Well, and I mean, we don't know what their game plan was. Maybe they stayed away from the changeups and the sinkers to make it a little easier on his shoulder. But he definitely didn't throw, in my estimation, enough of them. I mean, those are 2 excellent pitches for him.
Pudge goes up swinging right center. Cody Ross.
And when he's out there with his full arsenal, he could easily get you out with just sinkers and changeups.
Next up will be Adam Kennedy. Adam Kennedy lined out hard to second base, first time up. The Nats are about to use Justin Maxwell, Alberto Gonzalez, Kevin Mensch, the other right-handers. Backup catcher Will Nieves, and of course Willie Harris. Washington, 1 base hit so far. The single, the walk, and the error by Helms gave them their only run back in the third. And that one is up and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Craig Stammen will take over in the 6th inning, and it'll be his first relief appearance. Off speed, Kennedy out ahead of it.
Well, why don't we bring in Hall of Famer Gary Carter, one of the best catchers of all time. How are you, sir?
Great. I'm doing great, Dibs. I just got done signing autographs with Andre downstairs. So they've been running me around like a chicken with my head cut off, but that's okay. And it's all to obviously honor Andre, which has been great. Oh, there's a nice base hit.
Carter shows up and somebody gets a hit. What else is new?
Very nice, very nice.
Well, and Kennedy dumps one down the left field line. Good to see you, Gary.
Great to see you, Bobby. How's everything?
We're having fun. Not as much fun at home as the Nats usually have.
Right.
And we chuck in on Gary's numbers. Hall of Fame in 03. 2,000 hits, over 300 homers, 1,200 RBIs. Has it really been 7 years since your induction? That's hard to believe.
It is very hard to believe. I mean, when I was at the induction ceremony this year to obviously honor Andre, I just kept shaking my head. I can't believe that time has passed already. Right. 7 years. I mean, you know, and it's already 19 years since I retired, you know, so I mean, it's mind-boggling to me. I say 19 when I go into this next upcoming baseball season because I'm coaching collegiate ball now, and but 18 full years since 1992 when I retired at the end of September with the Expos, and now to see this and for Andre to be honored, and I just found out about this Ring of Honor thing about 5 minutes before I went out on the field.
That's very cool.
I mean,
That's very cool.
It was awesome.
Yep, they retired your number along with Andre Dawson. Well, the guy that is up there, well, no, he's not up there, but Pudge Rodriguez, when he does get up there, he's got about 2,500 games caught. You caught over 2,000 games. Are you most proud of that fact? And you know, what you see in the future for Von Rodriguez? You think he's going into the Hall of Fame?
Oh, there's no question. I mean, Dibs, what he's accomplished and the games and his durability and all the years and everything, now he's the all-time record holder for games caught. And I was standing up there on the platform with Stan Kasten, and all of a sudden Pudge walks up behind me and says, "Who's the next Hall of Fame catcher?" And I said, "Well, Pudge," right away. And I didn't even know he was behind me. But what he's accomplished in his career and been on a couple of World Series with obviously with the Marlins and all, and had great success in Texas, and now here with the Nationals and having the opportunity of catching a guy like Strasburg. And I know Steven didn't have the best of nights tonight, but he just got off the DL, and you got to understand sometimes that, you know, it takes a little while. You remember those, those times.
His last start was 20 days ago.
Exactly. And you know, you just can't expect to go out there and face big league hitters and you know, blow them away after going through. Now, did he have a rehab start or two?
No, he threw a couple of simulated games.
Simulated. That's not the same thing as facing hitters. No way.
Ground ball to the right side. Gabby Sanchez handles it. There's Gary Carter in those beautiful Montreal colors with Jim Riggleman.
organization, just helping out. And you know, Bobby, when you've been involved up there, my second daughter was born up there too. I mean, it's very difficult to think after 37 years of existence that they're no longer around. Yeah. Although they brought some, I think, of the flavor of this team here with them, and now to be recognized, especially on the Ring of Honor, which I just found out about 5 minutes before going down on the field. But it really is for Andre, and I'm so happy for him, and well-deserved. And I mean, it's been a long time coming for him getting into the Hall of Fame. So I'm just very happy and proud for him. And to be here in this ballpark for the very first time, this is magnificent.
You like it?
Oh, I love it.
Got the Capitol right over there.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
I know.
You got the greatest gig in the world, dude.
I know.
This is awesome, man.
And I'm not giving it up either.
Hey,
I don't
Gary,
blame you.
I tell him that every day.
And I do. I have a great partner, but getting back to your career, I mean, you know, we know Andre, the turf shortened his career. 2,000 games. I mean, Bob Boone, yourself. I know that Jason Kendall, Carlton Fisk, and now Pudge Rodriguez.
Right.
Very few guys can get to that plateau. How did you feel at near the end when you were getting to 2,000 plus games?
Well, you know, with Hanley getting that double there, I'm just, you know, proud to say that I was able to play 18 full seasons and catch over 2,000 games. And along that came 12 knee surgeries, 2 broken thumbs, shoulder surgery, ankle surgery. I've had 20 surgeries. So, I mean, I paid a price, and yet I was rewarded by going into Cooperstown. I love the game. You know that I love the game.
I know you do.
I enjoyed it so much that now I'm even coaching at the collegiate level, and it's because I love to teach. I love to work with the young kids. I love to see their progress, and I love nothing more than being in uniform and throwing BP and being around the game. I love the game. I mean, I broadcasted for 7 years, and then I started getting into coaching, and it's been fun, you know. And I know you enjoy the broadcasting, and you've done a tremendous job. And I've been on air with you on other occasions and all as well. Bobby, a few times with you as well. But nevertheless, you know, the game is the game, and once you've played it, it's tough to get away from it.
Oh yeah,
you know,
it's in you.
It's in you. And once you have that, and to what baseball gave to me, I want to give back. And so when I did the broadcasting thing to be able to be home with my family, and then I started getting into coaching, and I still wanted to be around the family, watching my daughter play softball at Florida State, and now she's the head softball coach at the same university, and my son-in-law is the compliance officer. So it's a family affair. You know, it's wonderful.
Well, it sounds like the recruiting is in good hands with the compliance officer looking over your shoulder. I was going to, what school is that?
It's Palm Beach Atlantic University.
How long have you been doing that?
This will be my second year, Bobby, coming up. And I took over the job in the middle of October of last year. Took over a team that was god-awful. They didn't know how to play the game. I had 21 remaining players and let go of 15 of them. So I've got 26 new faces coming in. In fact, one of the kids was here tonight, Matt Savetti, who's going to be one of my outfielders. And he was trying to get down to the field, but they wouldn't let him. And my recruiting assistant coach, Ryan Holmes, has done a tremendous job in getting some really good talent. We got 11 junior college transfers coming in. But, you know, it's the game. It's no different, really, at the collegiate level, at the Little League level. It's baseball. Uh-oh, another hit.
Willingham up with that ball, and Hanley Ramirez, who has doubled for the third time tonight, scores on the Logan Morrison RBI, his 6th as a big leader, and the big leaguer, and the Marlins just continue to hammer the nets here. Craig Stammen coming out, giving up hits to the first 2 batters. So as we reset things for you here at Nationals Park, it's the top of the 6th inning. The Marlins have only failed to score in the 2nd and the 4th. They've knocked out Steven Strasburg. Stammen replaces Batista. Bob Carpenter, Rob Dibble, Debbie Taylor, Andre Dawson, and Gary Carter. Now we're reset.
Okay, and to reset things here, too, I think that this franchise, and I would imagine you guys would agree with me, that there's a great future here, not only in this ballpark, but with what Stan Kasten has done, Mr. Lerner, the owner. I know that he wants to produce and put a winning team on the field. Strasburg is the beginning. I'm sure that if they sign, Bryce Harper, that's another one in the future. You got
Zimmerman's
you got a Gold Glove third baseman, a great player. I know Big Country there at first base, and Adam Dunn. I don't know if he's going to stay for the rest of the year, but God bless him. I mean, he hits nothing but home runs all the time. So it's so neat to see the development of this organization after leaving Montreal, and it's sad that the organization is no longer around. But it was so wonderful that they've done something not only for Andre, but even to recognize me now on this Ring of Honor, which, again, I was totally surprised about. I had no idea that was going to happen.
No, and it's much deserved. You and Andre deserve to be recognized for all time in this ballpark as part of that Montreal franchise. Now, what you may not know is some of the people that Mike Rizzo and Stan Kasten have brought in. I know Davey Johnson's here, Ron Schuler's here. They brought in Roy Clark from the Braves. Do you believe, and I know this having played against the Expos minor league teams, it all starts in your minor leagues because you guys had nothing but talent up in Montreal.
Absolutely, and I agree with you, Dibs. I mean, you have to develop your farm system, and I really believe that by getting Steven Strasburg as the #1 guy, Bryce Harper is another one, and I know he's asking for some big money, but I think that there is the future there. They don't want to put him behind the plate. They want to put him in the outfield. But nevertheless, that's what you do. You develop your farm system. You try and develop pitching, and you know how important pitching is, and then you build around a player, and I think that player right now is Ryan Zimmerman. Eventually Strasburg, as he settles into becoming a veteran and everything, but who knows how many more years Pudge wants to play, and obviously what he's accomplished, tremendous statistics, and catching well over 20, like you said, 2,500 games, and is the all-time leader now in games caught. But wow, that was pretty filthy, and it was
a great curveball.
Great curveball, and that's just it. I think that some of these guys have just not gotten into the full feel of the experience of feeling and confident that they can win.
Yep.
You can take these guys and make them believe, and they'll start winning. But I think that they are kind of used to now losing, and in some ways, you become complacent. And I think that, I don't know if it needs to be lighting a fire under them or whatever it would be, but you can take a somewhat bad team, put them up against the best teams in the league, and they'll beat them on given nights.
Right.
We've seen that happen. Yeah. This team tends to play to the level of its competition.
Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And because Florida has struggled recently, and they had that bad stretch, and they're, 9.5 out or something like that
I
at
think
this
the Phillies
point.
swept them.
Yeah.
That hurt.
And that hurt them big time. And you would have to say right now in the East is probably more like a two-team race with the Phillies and the Braves. But as far as talent goes, you can develop talent, and I know that this coaching staff here with Jim Riggleman and the rest of the guys, and Steve McCaddy and Dan Radisson and everybody else, I know they're giving their heart and soul to making this organization better and improving them. But it's a matter of the players believing it as well.
Yes.
Dibs, you played on a world championship team in 1990. You guys didn't have the greatest of talent, but boy, you guys came out and you won. And
we always felt we had the best team.
Exactly.
And it wasn't about if we had any superstars or, it was who could get the next out, who could finish the game, who could get the next big hit. I wanted to ask you because I really believe this. I mean, they brought in a lot of guys with championships.
Right.
When they brought in Pudge Rodriguez and Adam Kennedy, and they brought back Levon Hernandez.
Right.
Is that going to help change the culture? Guys that just hate losing so much that they're going to just get on the younger players and motivate them?
I think that it's a start, and it certainly will help, and they can feed off those guys. But they have to take it upon themselves. I think Ryan Zimmerman obviously is a guy that has got a tremendous future ahead of him because he's already established himself. What I'm saying is he going to accept being the face of the franchise and continue to lose? I think he wants to win.
Yes.
I think everybody, when we start out in spring training, you want to get that ring. That's what it's all about.
Adam Dunn to short, return throw, Stammen covering, and Dan Uggla took forever to get out of the box. Hey, Gary, before we let you go,
yes,
you and Andre, with Montreal no longer existing, you guys are always welcome here.
Thanks, pal.
Don't be a stranger.
All right, pal. Appreciate it very much. Thanks,
Gary Carter.
All right, pal.
Andre Dawson earlier. All Marlins right now. 6 coming up, Desmond, Zimmerman, and Dunn. Debbie Taylor has our FCA sideline report. Visit FCA.org, the Association for IT Pros.
Well, Adam Kennedy has played alongside Ian Desmond, and Ian told me it's really been good for him because Adam has really been a mentor to him. Meanwhile, Jim Riggleman likes what he's seen out of Ian Desmond, especially his leadership qualities.
We got a guy there who's very confident in his ability and speaks up, takes charge out there, and he works very well with Adam out there. But I think Ian's got a lot of leadership qualities about him that are going to be really good for this organization in the future.
One thing, too, Ian is a terrific listener, and he is very good at taking constructive criticism.
All right, Debbie. Desmond flies out to Stanton. Nats only have 2 hits the entire game. The Rodriguez single leading off the 3rd, and the one-out flare by Kennedy down the line in the 5th. Zimmerman and Dunn coming up. They're 0 for 4 combined. Anibal Sanchez, he can't tell the difference the way he's pitching, whether it would be 8-1 or 2-1.
I told you, fly ball, ground ball. I mean, nothing. He's going after you with curveballs and a good moving fastball.
Zimmerman goes up hacking.
And you see a 90-mile-an-hour moving two-seam fastball.
Nationals box score awfully quiet. The 2 singles. The ball hit by Desmond that scored the run because of Helms' error. Bernardina walk back in the 3rd. Base runners apply within. You are needed. 8-1 Marlins, bottom of the 6th.
Well, and I wish we had a little more time with him to talk about getting Dwight Gooden at the beginning of his career, and when he was catching with the Mets. Also playing with Ray Knight.
Zimmerman rifles one over the reach of Helms. Cutting it off, Logan Morrison. Ryan digging for a couple. And he's into second base, standing up. I think it's good for us, Rob, every once in a while to get some outside perspective.
Absolutely.
I mean, we see sort of the same thing day after day.
Yes.
We know how good Ryan is and Strasburg and the rest of them, but it's good to bring in guys who played the game that give us a fresh perspective on what baseball is all about here in D.C.
Couldn't agree more, and he's a Hall of Famer, a guy that was on championship teams and, young teams, old teams, and that's why I was so excited when we signed Pudge Rodriguez, because you have an older catcher that's going to be back there, handle these young pitchers as they develop, and then, hopefully turn it over to Ramos, and then you bring in Maya and you bring in a bunch of these other guys, but it's a complete team. You need 25 pieces on the same page.
Check swing by Dunn. That was a swing, says Hunter Wendelstedt. Quickly 0-2. Adam is fouled out to third and struck out. Not a whole lot of managing for Jim Riggleman to do right now, just until the offense wakes up, if it does, trying to figure out a way to get through the rest of this game by using as little of his bullpen as possible.
Well, and this is the 3rd time through for Sanchez through our batting order, and right there you saw a couple of pitches, including that last one where he's overthrown the breaking ball. He's had a lot of shoulder problems in his career, and he's up to 85 pitches now. And they're dumping out on those curveballs. Very nice. Look at that 250. Everything going down from the first time through.
Strikes out Adam Dunn again.
No, it's just a great running fastball. And as their broadcasters told us before the game, when he can control the late breaking movement of this pitch, it's devastating, just like any other breaking ball. Get that downward movement.
It's interesting. Sanchez has only gone 7 innings or more 4 times this year, but he's gone 6 innings or more 17 times.
Yeah.
So he usually gives them at least 18 outs.
Well, like I said, he gives you 6 or 7. He's going to walk maybe 2 or 3. He's not going to strike out a bunch. He had about a strikeout per inning coming in.
A marvelous number 3 pitcher for that staff.
Willingham 0 for 2 tonight. And Josh now 2 for his last 20. Phillies, by the way, picked up 4 runs at home against the Dodgers. A run in the 4th, 3 in the 5th. Ross Glowed a homer. 7-4 LA, 6th inning now. Mets and the Rockies are still scoreless. Top 7 there. And the Braves are scoreless in the 4th at Houston. Willingham takes a fastball that's tight. And in that big game 2 of that series in Cincinnati, St. Louis just scored 3 in the 6th, leading the Reds 5-2. And Willingham will take the walk. 2 on, 2 out. Second walk by Sanchez. Michael Morse went deep. Dodger Stadium, a laser to left on Sunday.
Well, and Ted Lilly was tough on everybody. He got a pitch he could handle, and he lined it out. And we thought it would be a great day for the offense, and that was the only 2 runs we would get.
That was it in the 8-3 loss to the Dodgers. Nats got their last run without a hit on a sac fly by Gonzalez. And if they're to get back in this game, it'll take something out of here or to a gap. Right here in the 6th inning, down by 7. Michael Morse tonight 0 for 2. Line drive to left, swinging strikeout. Sanchez overmatched him on a breaking ball last time and throws him another one well off the plate.
Well, he only saw 2 fastballs coming into that Lilly game against the Dodgers, and Lilly made the mistake of throwing 4 straight fastballs, and he hit the 4th one out. But he's going to get a steady diet of breaking stuff as well as he's hitting. He's got the reputation now of being a dead red fastball hitter. You don't want to throw anything from the center of the plate in on him. Even if you get one up away, he's got power to go the other way. So it's going to be a lot of stuff high and tight, low and away.
Target in. He gets jammed. Flare to left center. Over to get it. Logan Morrison, no problem. 6 innings in the scorebook tonight. Nats have stranded 5, and they trail 8-1. Took care of it.
Well, he was fooled off the swing. It looked like it was going to come out to him, but he had that good speed to close the distance and make a diving catch, and that could have been an even worse inning.
Here's Craig Stammen against Cody Ross. Ross 0 for 3. After that, he grounded out to Desmond, popped up to Dunn. Well, the Dodgers weren't real happy with the Phillies scoring those 4 runs. Jay Gibbons has just homered.
No, really?
Top of the 6th, Dodgers 11, Phillies 4.
He's making his presence felt quickly with the hit against us, pinch hit.
Yeah. Have to check and see if that was a salami. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ross. By the way, Baltimore's winning again. They were down 6-4 at Cleveland. They're now ahead 8-6 in the 7th inning. That was a 2-run homer by Jay Gibbons after a Loney double and a Casey Blake sac fly. Look out for those Dodgers if they get hot. And a 2-2. Guided, base hit. Cody Ross just reached out, got the bat barrel around that ball, and hit it sweetly into left field. And the Marlins have now out-hit the Nationals 10-3.
That's a good breaking pitch, but a good hitter at the major league level will keep the hands back long enough to just find a way to make contact and find a way to get it through between short and third. Let me see the box score. 10 hits, Bob.
Well, everybody has at least a hit except for 8 and 9. Now that Cody Ross is single. Hanley Ramirez, 3 doubles, 3 runs. Ugla, 4 RBIs. Helms, 2 RBIs. Mike Stanton has doubled and walked. He's 1 for 2.
That's a good pitch. Well, one thing I think coming out of the bullpen for Craig will maybe allow him to find. Here's Kinetic on the breaking ball right on the edge. Start cutting those fastballs loose and get them back up in the mid-90s.
That ball is hammered to center. Wow, are they hitting the ball well tonight. Doesn't matter who's pitching. Strasburg gave up 6 hits. Batista 3. Stammen 4. Friday the 13th is coming up. If you're one of the first 10,000 fans 21 and up, you'll receive a free beer pitcher and cup set presented by Miller Lite. Stick around. Fireworks after the game. Nationals.com/tickets. The Diamondbacks will be in for the weekend before the Nationals head off to Atlanta and Philadelphia. So Stammen has faced 6 batters. 4 of them have hits. Struck out Sanchez. Got Ugla on the double play ball. And a good breaking ball to the outside corner, 0-2.
Well, I asked him on the plane back from L.A. I mean, last time he relieved, he was in college. And so it's been a while for him to come out and be throwing strikes immediately. Good job right here getting ahead of Helms. He's got the catcher after Helms, and he can try and work his way out of this inning. It's a different mentality. It's a kind of a hero or the GOAT mentality where you're every pitch as a starter you're thinking, okay, I got to pace myself, get through the lineup 3-4 times. Well, here you got to be able to put guys away immediately.
Good running, sinking fastball.
Beautiful pitch right there.
First out here in the 7th on Craig's 2nd strikeout. This will be it for him. He's due to bat 3rd in the 7th. He'll face Paulino and then Anibal Sanchez. Marlins bullpen has been busy. Sanchez has thrown 94 pitches. We'll see if he comes out on deck, and it appears he will not.
You see the great sinking fastball by Craig on that last pitch. Well, he got his 6 innings in, Bob.
Oh, wait a minute. That is him. They might let him go 7. Doesn't do it often. He doesn't wear exactly what you would call a pitcher's number. And when he stepped out of the dugout and I saw 19, I was thinking, pinch hitter. Nope, that's him. Nats have the bottom of the order. That could have something to do with it. That's a good breaking ball by Stammen.
You know that spending a year in the Yankees bullpen did wonders for Phil Hughes' career. Gave him that little bit of a killer instinct, a little bit of an edginess about him. And this year in the rotation, he's been fantastic with the Yankees.
The Reds have scored 2 in the 6th in Cincinnati. 5-4 St. Louis, 7th inning. Battle for first place in the Central. Minnesota's at the White Sox in a big series in the American League. Minnesota 6-3 at Chicago in the 4th, and they're tied in that division.
Getting some good swings and misses with some of these pitches.
Close. 3-2. Runners holding with 1 out, and that's fouled. Tonight's copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. Beautiful breaking ball by Craig Stammen for the 2nd out. Chance to get out of the inning now with the pitcher stepping up.
Well, struck out Helms on a very good sinking fastball, and that's a really good slider that you just can't lay off. Got to keep charging hard right here and get the pitcher and get out of this mess.
Interesting, when Craig was starting, 32 of the 64 runs he gave up came in the first 2 innings of his starts. Now you would think, ooh, that doesn't bode well for a reliever. But Rob, as you say, it's a different thought process. And now he can approach it to go all out as soon as he gets out there.
Well, and you don't have to save as much as a reliever. He's got to learn how to preserve some energy for the 6th and 7th innings if he can get that far. Here, you know, the furthest he's going to go is possibly 3 innings. So when he's in there, you know, you're going to possibly throw, we'll say on average 15 pitches an inning, 30 pitches, and then he's got to keep it ready for the next night. But I mean, he's going to find that he's got more energy, more life in his fastballs. He's going to be able to cut some loose chest high. He's going to be 93, 94. He's going to go, wow. And maybe when he gets back into the rotation, he says, okay, I got that in that. I'll save those for when I really need them, and I need an out or a strikeout.
Outer half, and he strikes out the side, taking care of the pitcher. 7th inning stretch time, 1.7 miles south of the Capitol building. It's 8-1 for the Fish. Pitching very well, a 3-hitter through 6, and of course Dan Uggla, the 4 RBIs.
Well, 18 outs on 93 pitches, but the 93 pitches include 6 strikeouts, only a couple of walks, 3 hits, and moving the sinking fastball all over the place with late movement, and then this big 12-6 breaking ball, and even throwing a couple of cut fastballs in there to boot. But Sanchez, as I said before the game, threw a no-hitter in his 13th start in 2006. One hit the Giants through 9 innings 2 starts ago. He's definitely had us off balance all night.
Donnie Murphy takes over at shortstop for Hanley Ramirez. Rodriguez, Kennedy, and a pinch hitter for Stammen here in the 7th. Jose Veras, who's been a pretty effective setup man lately for Leo Nunez. Rodriguez, 2 for 3. He's gone from left center to right center with a base hit, a fly ball, and another single.
Jam shot on the sinker, and he fights it off, and he gets himself a single. A nice start to the bottom of the 7th inning. Still got 9 outs to go, Bob. Never over till the fat lady sings.
Kennedy hooks one, well foul. Adams 1 for 2 tonight, lined out to second, flared a base hit left field line. And Willie Harris will hit for Craig Stammen, who goes 2 innings, a run on 4 hits, didn't walk anybody, struck out 4, and got a double play ground ball. And as this ball game gets into Anibal Sanchez danger zone, you know they're watching every pitch. And he signs of fatigue. This is only the 5th time this year he's had a chance to pitch 7 innings. He'll tag Kennedy. The ball comes away, and Adams should be safe. Anibal Sanchez tagged him, and the ball just flew right out of his glove. That'll be Florida's 2nd error of the night.
Well, this looks like a excuse me swing that turns into something very nice right there, as Sanchez never really had control of the ball.
I think Dan Radisson had to tell Kennedy to keep running because the ball was out and Adam never looked back.
Well, it looked like Sanchez snow-coned it, which means it was sticking a little bit out of his glove at the top. And when he went to just kind of swipe tag Kennedy, Kennedy kind of carried it right towards first base.
2 errors by the Marlins tonight, 87 on the year for them. Willie Harris takes a fastball that misses.
Well, Sanchez has gone as many as 119. He backed it up with 116. That was back in June. His 2 starts ago, as I said, when he ended July, 118 pitches against San Francisco. He went 9.
A 1-hit shutout.
Yep. No walk, 1 walk and 8 strikeouts. So he definitely can go a few more pitches. That doesn't mean they're going to let him.
2-0 on Willie Harris.
Well, and as we just discussed, this is having a little bit extra in the tank here. After you're into the 7th inning, that was one of his best fastballs of the night.
Swing and a foul tip. 2-2.
Sanchez only 26 years old.
I mean, this is his 10th professional season.
He's learned a lot.
Willie Harris is gone. Front door on the breaker. And for Sanchez, strikeout number 7.
Well, you're going to see a nice slider. There you see the dot as it's spinning and grinding towards you. Might even be a cut fastball, but the result's the same.
Then he pulls the string a bit on Roger, who is 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. The Nats have 1 hit from the first 6 batters in their lineup. Zimmerman's double last inning.
And he's throwing very few fastballs here the 3rd time through. Now this is the 4th time into the lineup. Get ahead with some breaking balls, throw some cutters in on their hands, especially the lefties.
Bernardina, little flare to left. That ball's on the ground. I don't know if Logan Morrison misread it. Looked like he could have caught the ball. He pulled up and a hit right in front of him, and the bases are loaded with 1 out. His first time in this ballpark, maybe some trouble with the lights. And the Nats have the sacks loaded for Ian Desmond.
Well, we saw Bernardina go back on a ball, then come in, and right there it looks like a great big swing, but it's jammed, sinking, going away from him, and like you said, Bob, for some reason he stops running, and the ball just short hops him. So maybe he just, in the heat of that moment, said, I'd rather play this into a single than into maybe a double or triple.
Yeah. Desmond now 0 for 3, 2 fly balls to right, and the ground ball that Wes Helms missed at 3rd. And Desmond hits a double play ball. He will beat it out. And the Nats have their 2nd run of the night with Rodriguez scoring. That'll be an unearned run. And for Ian Desmond, his 46th RBI.
Well, swings at the first pitch, I think for the 2nd time in a row. And he gets jammed, but he does hustle and beat it out. Now watch Pudge as he crosses home plate.
And Sanchez is done. Very typical outing for him. That's interesting. The manager took the ball from him and then signaled for the bullpen.
Now watch Pudge as he comes across home plate. Kind of grabs his lower back a little bit, and that's what gave him trouble before. I hope he's okay.
Nats have their 2nd run of the night. 2 on, 2 out in the 7th. It's an 8-2 game. the 7th. Visit the official online shop of the Nationals, nationals.com. Browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. Get your gear from the official source at nationals.com. 29-year-old right-hander Jose Veras, problem of the Yankees, or rather property of the Yankees, and he did have a bit of a problem throwing strikes. That's why they let him go on to Cleveland last year, and then the Marlins picked him up as a minor league free agent January 27th. Seems like he has figured a few things out as a Marlin. The ERA not great right at 4, but he has corralled his control. 31 strikeouts, 12 walks in 22 innings. So he's a strikeout guy, and here's Zimmerman. Yeah, he goes arms and weights flapping, and then he drops a breaking ball in on Ryan, and I'd be flinching too.
Arms and legs, everything's flailing at the same time, and then poof, 78-mile-an-hour curveball. I'd be nervous too.
Nats are down by 6. Dunn's on deck. Settle down, says Ronnie Paulino, the catcher. 2-0.
Here's Big Bad Dunn. With quiet tonight. Maybe this is the guy where it changes your luck.
Flailing his way to strike 1.
Well, in baseball terms, you'd call this violent because right about here, he separates the hands. He's going to drop. And then all of a sudden, he's going to try and pull that arm through. A lot of torque on that shoulder. Who was Doug Bachler? Is that the guy's name? Remember that guy?
San Diego.
Oh, yeah. Brendan Donnelly. Some of those guys, I mean, Sid Fernandez was a little bit different because he was probably 6 foot, 300 pounds, and he had huge legs. And he dropped down like that. But these lanky guys.
Adam Dunn will bat with the bases loaded. Ryan Zimmerman on for the second time.
Well, now you hope that this guy who's trying to find, well, not going to even give him a chance to face Dunn.
Nope, he will face one batter, walk in, and take the rest of the evening off. Marlins have 2 left-handers, Will Ullman and Taylor Tankersley. Adam Dunn is 0 for 3 tonight with a pop-up foul, 2 swinging strikeouts. Nats down by 6, but for how long?
Kershaw had only allowed 7 home runs coming into that contest. Gave up 2 to Adam Dunn.
Will Oman picked up in a deadline deal that sent Rick Van Den Hert to Baltimore. 3.30 ERA with the Orioles in 51 ball games. Will Oman, veteran left-hander, has been around this and the other league for quite a while.
They released that Pinto guy.
Reniel
Pinto since we last saw them. I thought that guy had a pretty good arm.
So did a lot of our hitters. He was pretty good. And the 0-1 to Dunn.
Well, maybe if he could find a way to go down the third baseline. There you saw it. Wes Helms playing almost at shortstop. Ugla's 20 feet out in the grass somewhere. What a strange shift.
A lot of room for hits out there. Adam Dunn, high in the air, left field. He didn't get it. It's at the track and caught by Morrison. And the Nats have come up about 10 feet short of making this a 2-run game. 8-2 Marlins.
At the park. Now, it was a night off for the Nationals, but a lot of his teammates came out. Adam Dunn spent a lot of money. Pudge Rodriguez was there as well. They helped raise $200,000. And Ryan told me it really meant a lot that his teammates supported him. The money will go to the ZIMS Foundation, which is looking for a cure for multiple sclerosis and to spread awareness about the disease. So a good night, and I hear that Adam Dunn did spend lots and lots and lots of money. Bob?
Ryan was pleased that over 800 people showed up for his event last night. And, of course, Ryan is intimately involved with the effort to stop MS. His mom, Cheryl, was diagnosed in '95 with MS when Ryan was 10 years old. Special relationship there. And for a first-time event, he was very pleased. And thanks to everybody who participated last night. On to the 8th inning. Donnie Murphy, the hitter, he came in to replace Hanley Ramirez at shortstop. Doug Slayton is the new Nationals pitcher. They're 4th of the night. Donnie Murphy is from Lakewood, California. Minor league free agent. The Marlins signed him. Big league time in 04 and 05 with Kansas City. Oakland 07-08. And he played AAA. A grand total of 3 games for the Orioles at Norfolk last year. Went 2 for 9. Sprained his left knee and missed the rest of the season. And Slayton misses outside. 2-1. And for the Marlins, rookie Logan Morrison next, and then Gabby Sanchez here in the 8th. Some visiting teams are being rather rude in the National League tonight, including the Marlins, the Dodgers, who put 13 on the board at Philadelphia, and St. Louis. They've now put 8 on the board at Cincinnati. Braves and the Astros still scoreless in the 7th. Mets do have a 1-0 lead over Ubaldo Jimenez and the Rockies in the 8th inning. And Slayton strikes out Murphy looking.
Doug's had a very good breaking ball lately. And there he goes with the heater right by Murphy, who's probably looking for it. Patterns, sequences, being known for certain pitches. You got to change it up every now and then. I got lucky. I had a friend of mine on another team said, "Hey man, you're doing the same thing every night. Get ahead, throw your breaking balls." And you go out there and you just throw nothing but fastballs and surprise everybody.
Only thing you didn't want to change was that getting ahead of guys. Huh?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, working ahead. Strike one's still the best pitch in the major leagues or any league.
And the great technician Greg Maddux said it best. The best pitch in baseball is a first pitch fastball with movement for a strike. So that even if they're on it, they still have to deal with the ball running, either away from the righty or in on the lefty.
But even if you don't have Steven Strasburg stuff or Maddux stuff or Josh Johnson stuff, I mean, you got to go out there with your 1, 2, 3, whatever pitches you possess. And as I've said for 2 years, whatever it is, find whatever you can locate 70% of the time, get ahead, and then have some fun with the hitter. You know, it's not the worst job in the world out there to be a pitcher. Can't be a constant battle with yourself. You know, you gotta battle the hitters. Have some fun with it. You know, kind of grade yourself. When I faced Andre Dawson or Gary Carter, it was fun because they were the best in the game. They're Hall of Famers.
Slayton misses on 3-1, and Logan Morrison is on for the 4th time tonight, 3 times via the walk. So the Nats have walked a guy 3 times who came in with 47 big league at bats. A lot of good tickets available for tomorrow night. Olsen on the mound for the Nats. Leave on Thursday, 888-632-NATS or nationals.com/tickets. Chris Volstad, 5-8 for the Marlins tomorrow night. Ball hammered to short. Desmond up with it. To Kennedy. A pretty 6-4-3. Off the bat of Gabby Sanchez, and this game into the bottom of the 8th. Ian played it well to his right. Kennedy, plenty of time to turn. Olson. Volstad 5-8. Olson 3-3. Volstad 4.63 ERA. Olson 4.12. And Chris Volstad is 3-1 career against Washington. Scott Olson 1-1 since coming off the disabled list. Johnny and Ray here at the ballpark. 6:30 Nats Extra.
Volstad on the left. Worked a lot with Jim Palmer.
That he did.
As a youngster, and honed his mechanics in that curveball of his.
Willingham, Morse, and Rodriguez for the Nats in the bottom of the 8th. Bert Badenhop takes over. 27-year-old right-hander. Emergency starter if the Marlins need him in that role. Started a couple of games last year. 28 from the pen this year with a mediocre, well, that's too kind. 4.54 ERA. Not good. 1-5. Pitching with a big lead. Josh Willingham 0 for 2 with a walk. That's a busted bat. Out to short for Murphy. And Josh Willingham is 2 for his last 21.
Just a rough patch, Bob. I can feel him coming out soon.
Nats need him in that number 5 spot. I'm glad the Nats didn't find out what the lineup would be like without Adam Dunn, because tonight's lineup, Desmond, Zimmerman, and then Dunn, but there's Willingham, Morse, Rodriguez. This would be a very right-handed ball club without a whole lot of balance in the middle. It's interesting looking at the numbers from last year. The Nationals hit .258. They were 9th in the league, actually tied the Phillies. They were 9th in runs, 9th in homers, 13th in steals. Drew the second most walks in the league to Colorado. Looking at the offense this year, and Morse strikes out on a big breaking ball. The Nationals are on a pace to hit about the same, mid-250s. But they're not on the same pace in runs. Third from the bottom in the league. They're about the same pace in homers. They will steal more bases, in fact, already have. And so the offensive improvement has strangely come in the running department. Batting average, runs, and home runs either the same or down from last year. I think there's a perception around the league, because the Nats hit a lot of home runs, at least lately, that they are a really good offensive ball club. But right now, only the Pirates and the Astros have scored fewer runs than the Nats this year. Putz hits the ball hard for the 3rd time. He has 2 singles, but he's out of there. And it's on to the 9th inning. It's all Marlins right now, 8-2. Park with a 2-run first-inning homer and a 2-run third-inning double. A walk to the rookie Morrison. And Rob, the evening would never be the same after this Ford drive of the game.
95+ mile an hour in on the hands of Dan Uggla. He turns on it, and you can turn on a Strasburg fastball. You definitely deserve the Ford drive of the game. Do it later and get a double. Dan Uggla. It's the Ford drive of the game on that home run.
He gets the rest of the night off. Former Nat Emilio Bonifacio hits for him. Top of the ninth. Bonifacio hitting .245, 53 at bats, 13 hits in 34 games. Switch hitter. He goes to the right side and takes a big swing against Doug Slayton.
You were right. Michael Burgess throws left-handed, hits left-handed.
Yeah, we were thinking about him and
some of our prospects.
In terms of some of the guys in the minor leagues who may not be right-handed hitters.
Espinosa's a switch hitter.
And he just got promoted to AAA.
Good for him. Congratulations. Now, what did you say? He's the only 20-20 player in our organization? Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool.
I wonder if they consider him for second base. Two balls and a strike. Bonifacio, Ross, and Stanton here in the top of the ninth.
Well, and people are saying now that the Orioles are playing so well, they're going to lose the overall first pick in the draft next year. Well, that had been looking like theirs, but now they're only one win behind the Pirates.
And they're winning 14-8 tonight at Cleveland. That would be, what, 7-1 under Buck Showalter?
Yes, it would.
Same players, right?
Same players. Very talented. You know, that's the thing. You know, we said that when we were playing them and they swept us up at their park. They've got a lot of talented young guys. Maybe they just weren't all on the same page. And
all right, well, let me ask you a question, Mr. Player. You're a ball player. Your ball club has just switched managers. From one day to the next or 1 week to the next, what makes everything so different? What does he say to come in and get you guys going?
You're going to do it my way or hit the highway. I mean, I think he's a no-nonsense guy. From all the things I've heard, and I've worked with him and I've talked to him, you know, he's a perfectionist at every little thing in how you play the game. And, you know, we had two guys sitting up here tonight that were both perfectionists, both worked their butts off, never missed an infield. Would come out, and I know Andre Dawson for the last 10 years of his career, after batting practice, ice down his knees, go play, ice down his knees.
Yep.
And you have to have that kind of discipline and dedication to turn things around. And maybe they found a guy that they respect enough that they're going to all do the same thing.
Yeah.
Give the same effort night in and night out.
Andre Dawson, I mean, his lower body was wrapped up like a mummy for about the last 10 years of his career. Ice, wrap. Take the wrap off after the game, ice again.
My last year in '96 with the Marlins, and I didn't pitch an inning actively, but I was there for every game with the big league club. I would watch him limp around the clubhouse at 42 years old just to get his legs and his body going for that one pinch hit, possible pinch hit appearance. Mm-hmm. And, you know, right then and there, I was like, this is one of the most beautiful human beings I've ever seen around this game. You love the game that much. You know, I was 30 years old and months away from retirement, and I'm watching this 42-year-old guy played a heck of a lot more than I ever could dream of, and he loved it that much. I wouldn't say it was fun to watch, but it was very humbling to watch a man like that.
Rain starts pelting down here in the ninth inning.
Rain, what's that?
I don't know. Let me Google. See what I can find out for you.
We certainly know what heat is like in the last 2 weeks.
And a ball hit in the air, right side. Michael Morse cruising for it. One out here in the ninth.
I got a chance to play with Ken Griffey Sr. at the end of his career. And, you know, Dave Collins and Joel Youngblood, who we just came across in Arizona. And you talk about guys that put in 15, 20 years in the major leagues. You don't put in that much time in the major leagues unless you really, really love the game. They put their bodies through. I did not know Gary Carter had that many surgeries on his knees and body.
20 surgeries. Oof. You know, Mickey Mantle toward the end of his career stepped on a sprinkler at Yankee Stadium chasing a fly ball, and his career changed forever. Slayton throws a strike to Mike Stanton, who's been on base 3 times tonight with a double, walk, and a single. That's right off the end of the bat, and a foul ball for Adam Dunn. We've given you some scores tonight, other things going on around the league. David Price has set a new record down in Tampa Bay for a starter with 15 wins. Jim Edmonds from Milwaukee to Cincinnati for Chris Dickerson, and then he turns around and has to play right against his old St. Louis friends. And Seattle Mariners, big changes today. Don Wakamatsu, who got that job instead of Jim Riggleman, fired. And other changes on their coaching staff as well. Seattle is 22 games behind Texas. And from what we've heard from baseball guys we've talked about, they have a strange ownership situation there in Seattle where the people who actually own the ball club are pretty much out of touch with the ball club. That ball laced out to center. Bernardino right there. Grabs it off the bat of Wes Helms. Bottom of the 9th coming up. The Nats have the bottom 2 in their order, down by 6.
Bottom of the 9th. Dan Uggla, Hanley Ramirez doing a lot of damage. Let's go back up to Bob and Rob and see what kind of work the ball club can do in this last of the 9th.
All right, Johnny, trying to pull something out of the evening. Emilio Bonifacio stays in to play second base. Marlins 8 runs on 11 hits, and they've stranded 8 runners. That's how busy they've been on the bases tonight.
They've been putting up a lot of hits, making a lot of contact, but it's just one game. They do get the edge tonight. We'll be back tomorrow.
Bottom of the 9th, Adam Kennedy leads off. Looks like Kevin Mensch is about to make his first Nationals appearance at home. Batting for Slayton. And Kennedy will flip one to left. Ball hanging up, caught by Morrison, 1 out. Well, Kevin Mensch made his Nationals debut in fine fashion in L.A. with a base hit. He's 1 for 2 as a Nat.
Spent a year in Japan. Decided to come back and play back in the States. Had to work his way back to the big leagues.
Kevin hit .249 with 40 RBIs at Syracuse. Nats selected his contract 4 days ago. when Nigel Morgan went on the DL. He's a product of the University of Delaware, where 12 years ago he led the NCAA in home runs.
33.
Rob Dibble remembers his trivia.
I try to remember those trivia questions, so if they ever come around again, I'll be ready for them.
Who's his brother-in-law?
Oh, Scott Podsednik.
Okay.
Come on. That'll be hard to forget. What
high school did he go to?
I have no idea.
St. Mark's in Delaware, but he's out here. 2 down. Get you on that one next time. And Bert Badenhop trying to close this one out. Tomorrow night, Scott Olson, Chris Volstad. Well, this one's been quiet right from the start. It's almost as if the fate was sealed when Dan Uggla hit that ball about 2 feet over the left field wall after the walk in the first inning. Nats unable to mount any sort of comeback against Anibal Sanchez since. Mets won that game, by the way, 1-0 over the Rockies. Dodgers 13-7 at Philadelphia. And the Braves 1-0 in the 8th at Houston. A final look around the National League East.
Brandon Phillips, before the start of last night's game against Cardinals, called the Cardinals complainers. So tonight, the first at bat for Brandon Phillips. Yadier Molina got in his face, and both benches emptied. So they started that game off tonight with a nice little, as they call it here, a scrum.
Yeah, and then Molina homered.
Yep.
That's what rivalries are made of.
But Scott Rowland had Chris Carpenter at the back of the backstop. So it got a little testy. No punches were thrown.
Yeah. You know what? Carpenter, Rowland, I'd stay away from both of those guys.
But Walt Jocketty is the GM, and you're noticing a lot of Cardinals joining the Reds lately, and Jim Edmonds just one of the latest to join the Reds organization.
Bernardino flies one to left center. Logan Morrison circling and grabs it, and this game is over. 3 hours and 4 minutes for the Marlins to beat the Nationals 8-2, but it was over a lot sooner than that. For Rob Dibble and Debbie Taylor, Bob Carpenter. Andre Dawson joined us tonight, so did Gary Carter, and the final score, Marlins 8, Nationals 2. Join us Wednesday, Masson 2 HD, Nats Marlins. Game 2 will get you going at 6:30. This has been a presentation of Masson. Stay tuned now. Johnny and Ray here at the ballpark with the Nats Extra, presented by Verizon Fios, and from the